Yeah, Mr. Ray, I heard you talking about cells, and we were going to start doing some cells, and I know we mentioned some famous people, and we said we were going to talk about the cell theory, but I don't know that much about it. Can you help me out a little bit?
Of course, I can help you with that. Let's go back to what we've been talking about already in class. We've covered a lot of material related to cells, more specifically our prokaryotic cells right here. And if you remember, guys, this should look very similar to a living organism that we talked about, which is bacteria. Covered that for a lot of time. Moving forward, what we're going to start talking about is other organisms' cells, and that's your eukaryotic cell right here. The cells that actually make up our own human body, plants, fungi, as well as protists. So as we get into our cell unit and we travel down this road that we're about to explore, we're going to take a look at quite a few things. First thing that we're going to cover is the cell theory. And there's three main parts to this theory. Okay? One, which you see right here, is that all living things are composed of cells. We talked about that when we were talking about the characteristics that all living things share. We spent quite a bit of time over here talking about the fact that cells are the basic unit of structure and function in living things. We've been making our analogies about how, very similar to the foundation of a house, cells are the foundation of living organisms. And the third part to the cell theory, which we'll cover right here, is that new cells are produced from existing cells. This is that cell division that we talked about briefly during class. Now, a lot went into this cell theory. There's a lot of famous scientists that we're going to cover that have created this cell theory. The first guy that we're going to take a look at is Theodor Schwann. And he was very instrumental in discovering the fact that animals are made of cells. That was his major contribution. Moving forward, our next gentleman is a guy by the name of Rudolf Virchow. He's going to be very important. His contribution is that what we're talking about with the cell division. Virchow was instrumental in cell division, which means that existing cells come from other cells. As we move forward here, our next gentleman that we're going to talk about is Robert Hooke. And we mentioned, little mistake here, but we mentioned our friend Robert Hooke here earlier when we were talking about microscopes. He was one of the first to discover cells. He's going to be very important moving forward. This gentleman that we have right here, as you can see, he's got a nice hairdo, is a guy by the name of Anton von. Now, this is going to be a tough one for us. It doesn't even. Oops, made a mistake in the spelling here, but it seems to be the way they write it. It's not really the way you guys might pronounce it, but it's Leeuwenhoek, and we spell his name Leeuwenhoek. Okay, Anton von Leeuwenhoek, very important. He was one of the first to observe bacteria, and also one of the first to observe protists. Okay, and last but certainly not least, all are very important. We don't want to leave anyone out. This gentleman has the last name Schleiden, Schleiden. Okay, Schleiden. You know what? Let me fix this up for you here, guys. That's kind of sloppy on my part. And again, like I said, his name is Schleiden, Schleiden. Leiden. And his contribution to the cell theory was that the basic unit of structure in plants is also cells. All right? So he was instrumental with helping us realize that plants come from cells as well. So in our upcoming unit, obviously we'll break it down a lot more, but to get started, this is basically what we're going to cover. We're going to cover some of the main people that were really instrumental in developing this theory, again, called the cell theory. We have Schleiden, Anton von Leeuwenhoek, Robert Hooke, Rudolf Virchow, and Theodor Schwann. Very instrumental in this cell theory right here. And we'll do some comparisons between the prokaryotic and eukaryotic cells.
Well, thanks, Mr. Ray. I really appreciate that. That was really helpful. I can't wait to learn about the cells. Thanks so much. Looking forward to it. All right, well, I'll see you tomorrow in class. Have a great day.